Okay, we're back. My head tech, Brian, I have him up on the bike now, and I'm going to go through some of the things I just spoke about and put it more into real application. Brian is I'll call him a semi-professional racer. He's on the circuit, he does duathlons, is very, very successful in cyclocrossing and extremely successful in mountain biking. As a matter of fact, this year in the 24-hour race in Vermont, came in first place. So congratulations to Brian. Okay, I have Brian on a bike that's actually not properly fitted for him, which I think would be a good way to show you proper fit. So we get him on the bike, we start to take a look at him at a basic level. First thing I would ask Brian to do is drop his foot directly to the floor. I'd have his foot, or the shoe rather, level with the floor, and you'll notice the knee is very, very straight. Way too straight. We have to get that to a nice little bend. So what I would, if I was doing it with any one of you folks out there, I would ask the person to stand up out of the seat. I'll adjust the seat height. In this particular case, we're going to go down about half of an inch. Okay. Take another look at his leg length. You'll notice there's a little bit more of a bend in his knee right now. We're going to take a look at him in the drops. We're going to put his hands down here. Now we're going to look at two things here. Now Brian happens to have a little bit shorter leg and a little bit longer torso. So if you take a look at we look at Brian's nose and we drop a plumb line down, he's actually in front of the handlebars. Okay, we don't want him there. We actually, dropping that plumb line, we want him back here. So in Brian's case, this is a size 9 stem. We would go with a little bit longer stem. We would probably go with a 10 or 11 stem. Handlebar width happens to be dead on for him. It's what they call a 42 millimeter handlebar width. The deal with the handlebar widths, if you go too narrow, which means his shoulders are going to come in like this, two things are going to happen. You're going to get pain across the top of your shoulders and the back of your neck, and you're going to be restricting your breathing a little bit. If you go too wide, again, you're going to have fatigue in your shoulders, and you're opening yourself up as a sail, which is not very, very aerodynamic. So that's something that we'll always check for you immediately. So we're going to get the seat height, we're going to get the length, we're going to get the handlebar width, and we're going to get a shoe adjustment. Not every bike is designed the same. I can show you 10 bikes in a 56 centimeter quote-unquote frame design, and they could have 10 different top tube lengths. Also, don't get caught up in the number 56, 61. The actual number of the frame design is somewhat irrelevant because bikes can be measured 3 or 4 different ways. When we talk about a frame measurement of 56 centimeters, we're typically talking about this tube here. But you could be talking about the tube measured from the top of the C tube to the center of the crank. That same 56 by another company could be top of the top tube to the center of the crank, and by a third company, it could be the center of the top tube to the center of the crank. So there's 3 56 centimeter bikes that are all going to fit you entirely different. So you really have to rely on the person that's selling it to you. You have to rely on his professionalism. You have to rely on the amount of time that he's going to take to fit you up, get you dialed in, so that you go out for a comfortable ride.